Biorefinery System Module 1 Segment 2 Natural Resources with me Yusuf from Institut Teknologi Bandung. Natural resources are the material elements needed for human survival and development. They are natural and self-existing and include mineral resources, water resources, land resources, and biological resources, which can be categorized according to their renewability into renewable resources and non-renewable resources as shown in the figure. Renewable resources can be regenerated by human activities such as agriculture. Non-renewable resources, also known as exhaustible resources, are those whose reserves and volume can be measured, such as mineral resources. Both renewable and non-renewable resources can be further divided into several subcategories as shown in the figure. The distinction between renewable resources and non-renewable resources is relative. For example, oil are non-renewable resources, but they are the products of ancient animals and plants following the long-term effects of physical, chemical, and geological changes in the strata of the earth. Therefore, renewable resources and non-renewable resources can be transformed into each other. Resource issues are mainly due to overexploitation, irrational development, and excessive utilization of resources combined with population growth and economic development, which results in a range of issues affecting the resource quality. Population growth, a series of worldwide shortages of resources, environmental degradation, and ecological crisis have become a direct threat to human survival. Specific resource issues include excessive exploitation, excessive waste, and continuous consumption of resources. Resource crisis occurs when the effects of resource depletion and damage accumulate to such an extent that the functionality of the resource system has been damaged, and it has become difficult to maintain the needs of human economic activity in part or as a whole, perhaps even directly threatening human survival and development. It includes energy crisis, water crisis, food crisis, and ecological crisis. The energy crisis is the most prominent resource crisis. Energy is a strategic resource with the largest international market, and it is also the power source of economic development. Energy crisis is the result of energy supply shortages or price increase, usually involving shortage of oil, coal, natural gas, or other natural resources. Global water resources are limited, and availability of freshwater resources are even more limited, which is equivalent to less than 1% of the world's total water. Coupled with increasingly serious water pollution and the reduced amount of available water resources, the water shortage is getting worse. The food crisis has become one of the major resource crises on the planet. In most decades, global grain consumption has been higher than its production. The world's grain reserves have been depleted, and food trade in the international market is also declining. Worse still, the population is growing, and the extent and the quality of arable land are declining. Ecological crisis is due to excessive human activities that damage the structure and function of the Earth's ecological system. Environmental pollution, ecological destruction, and declining biodiversity lead to a shortage of wildlife resources, resulting in the species crisis. Once the ecological crisis forms, it is difficult to recover in the longer term. Resource recycling. Circular economy is a new advanced economic form that combines economic, technology, and social integration system engineering. It advocates a model of economic development and environmental harmony. It needs to meet the requirement of reducing the impact of economic activities on the natural environment to the smallest extent possible. The development of a circular economy is not only an important way to achieve sustainable development, but also the fundamental means of environmental protection and pollution abatement. The operating mechanism of a circular economy can be categorized into 5 basic points, 4 cycles, and 3 principles. The 5 basic points are clean production, industrial ecology, sustainable agriculture, green consumption, and waste disposal. The 4 cycles are internal cycle, cycle between production, the whole society cycle, and energy and material cycles. The 3 principles are principles of reduction, reuse, and recycling. All aspects of resource functions should be exploited by repeated use of each unit process. Waste reuse involves the recycling of valuable material and energy that would otherwise be lost in the normal waste disposal and emissions that occur during production processes. Limited resources can be fully utilized, which meets the requirements of sustainable development. Biomass recycling is recycling supported by renewable biomass resources. Let's consider the pattern of energy in a farming cycle as shown in this figure. The energy recycling model takes the produced biogas as fuel, saving the use of traditional fuels. Residue and biogas slurry can be used as chemical fertilizer, which reduces fertilizer use and improves soil fertility. Biomass has attracted worldwide attention because of its versatility in conversion and recycling. First, biomass is not only a renewable energy source, but can also be used to produce thousands of chemical products. Second, energy preserved in the biomass can be comprehensively developed and recycled. Third, biomass is a part of agricultural production, which is helpful in developing the rural economy and farmers' income. For the next segment, we will discuss about lignocellulose resources. Until then, I am Yusuf from Institut Teknologi Bandung.